We're all back together for a Eurovision video. What?
We're great.
Okay, wait, can we, for a brief moment, can we just talk about hair? Come on, hair!
Well, hair.
Come on, hair!
Yes.
Also, in this moment, I've learned, Lewis, get yourself a fan.
Please.
And
I got
not
myself
fake.
one. You need to get yourself one.
It never gets hot
Hey,
in the face.
Just go on dirtsquirrel.com and buy yourself a cute little $20 fan. Okay.
Yeah.
$20.
Or get an even cheaper one. This was $7
Work, Diva.
at a Ren fair. So, like, you know.
because these are like
Let's go
35
cheap,
each.
queen. Let's go cheap, queen.
Hold on,
Anyway.
This
Hello,
was
hello,
$5. Okay, sorry.
Can I do the intro, Eduardo?
No, absolutely not. You cannot.
Okay.
Shop.
Okay.
Anyway, hello, hi, Europe, Australia, and the world, and welcome to the CUP ESC, part of the Currently Unnamed Podcast Network, where we put the real and the tea into ESC from top to bottom, honey. I don't have the stamina to do the whole thing today. I'm not doing it. Anyway, I'm Logan Murphy, say something gay. Gay. It is morning for me on this glorious, wonderful day, so I am drinking coffee. You can't tell because it's in my normal tumbler that I use everything in, but there's some gorgeous protein iced coffee.
Protein.
She's a
Work,
protein girly now.
Work,
Oh.
bitch.
So,
Gains, everyone.
Protein is
Gains.
underrated.
honestly, like it's a straight up brand, not sponsored. I won't talk about the name on air because we're not sponsored, but I wish we were. But it's very good. It's just vanilla. I put some brown sugar in it today. It's a lovely, lovely time. But if I was drinking out of anything else, obviously, it would be come on.
Come on.
Or other cup merchandise items.
Shop at
Oh,
launch.
I thought Aneesa was going to pop there, but it's
Aneesa just rocked up in the studio literally right before we
I know,
went live.
literally.
Yeah, Aneesa is unprepared tonight.
With that
is
being
fine.
said,
I love that you've come to Cabinet unprepared. You can get your merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com, link in the description below. We do ship domestically within North America. International shipping, we are almost back to international shipping. And Lewis is quaking. That's all.
grab your towels. It's time to come together. Hi, I'm Aneesa Long, also known as Sam DMV, also known as Sam Verde. And I have my lovely cup bottle.
They are prepared.
She just wanted to have her moment.
Yeah,
Of
fully.
course, always.
This is your moment. Have it.
Have it.
Yes, I also like K-pop. In case y'all didn't know, it's a day. Right? I walked home from work today, so
No.
Why would you do that?
to save on my Presto or like bus fare.
Because they're going to Eurovision.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Her.
It's an hour walk. It's not that bad.
You're off to Eurovision?
Oh yeah, I don't think the panel knows, but yes, I am off to Eurovision.
What?
Yeah. It was
Anyway, can we get through the intro?
Hello. I'm Lewis. I'm from Manchester. I'm a fan of Icelandic indie folk jazz. And whatever that sounds like.
Oh, that's it.
That part. Very excited to be watching Eurovision again. I feel like we haven't done the Eurovision video in a week.
It's been a minute. It's honestly been a minute. I haven't hosted a podcast in a minute, so I fully forgot how to do the intro earlier.
Right,
I was like,
Yeah.
what am I doing?
I'm actually also going to Eurovision as well, Aneesa.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow,
I don't
this
know
is
why we need to
shocking.
have-
I
I
am
don't know
shocked.
why we need to have this.
This
bit
is shocking.
today.
Well, anyways, hi, hello. I am Eduardo. I am the Mexican representative of this podcast. I'm here to talk shit and get hit, especially by Logan. I'm here to annoy him
We're
specifically.
gonna fight today, and I'm excited.
I don't
again.
think we're fighting today because I think
I think we're gonna fight a little less because I think you might be a little bit more realistic, and I might be a little bit more realistic about qualifying chances today.
Yeah, but yeah, today I'm just drinking water out of this. I don't have my cup mug / bottle, but I will buy it soon because the semester is finishing soon, so I will be able to buy it. But yeah.
And I'm Brooke, your casual Eurovision fan, painting my nails with some rattlesnake venom. And I'm very excited to talk about the semi-qualifiers today because I will be the hot take of the panel, and I know that, but it's okay because that is my job in general on the cup. And I am drinking water. That's it, just water.
Lovely.
Wonderful.
Well, as we've talked about several times in our 6-minute intro, we are diving into what we think are going to be the qualifiers for Eurovision 2024 in each semifinal. This may not necessarily be our personal feelings. In fact, I can tell you for sure it's not 100% going to be our personal feelings. But we're going to talk about who we think is going to qualify for the grand final of Eurovision 2024. At the time of filming, we have all of the first rehearsals, which we didn't get an opportunity to talk about because of me. I'll just go ahead and say that. Because I had issues. We will be talking about the second set of rehearsals. I don't know whether this video will go up before or after that. I'm going to be honest. But regardless, we will be talking about them. So we're going to dive into our qualifying chances, what we think, and all those things. But before we do, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things Eurovision Song Contest. And oh boy, do we have a lot of content coming for Eurovision. We've got all of our previews, which should be out by the time you see this video. We've got, we're doing a bunch of lives during the week. All of that information will be available on the channel and our social media, so go check those out. And go check out all 3 of our other channels and our membership channel down below. Those links are in the description. So, let's dive in. This year I didn't have the chance to do a cute graphic because life is lifing at the moment. So, we're just going to talk about our semifinal predictions. We're going to start, obviously, with semifinal 1 because, yeah. I also want to say before we fully dive in, we have not acknowledged 3 of the songs this year because of a lot of different reasons. Also, Free Palestine. For the purposes of this video, because unfortunately those 3 countries are competing in the contest, we will be discussing whether we think they are going to qualify or not. In some cases, I think it's a very cut and dry situation. And in some cases, I don't know that it is necessarily. But we will be discussing Israel, Azerbaijan, and Luxembourg for the purposes of this video. Not really critiquing the songs, just acknowledging that unfortunately they are in the contest. And we're going to talk about them because they are still competitors, unfortunately. So, with that being said, let us dive into semifinal 1. We've got 15 songs, of which 5 will not qualify. I don't even know necessarily where we should begin.
We could just go one by one and say whether we think it's qualifying or not.
I think that's a pretty, decent idea.
I've got I've been pretty specific about placement.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I feel like we could go over the safe qualifiers because there are a few I think that are like, yeah, this is qualifying, and there's not really any chance it doesn't.
Yeah, I think there's like 7 that I'm like, oh yeah, this is qualifying.
I will go ahead and just start with, I think, the most obvious qualifier here, and that's Ukraine.
Fully.
Yeah.
I would say Ukraine and Croatia are like.
I was going to say Croatia.
Tied for me. I think they're both guaranteed almost.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I would also agree.
I mean,
That's when it gets tricky.
It really honestly does get tricky
I
from
feel
there.
like there's definitely going to be another qualifier I personally don't agree with, but I think would qualify.
I think we're talking about the same country.
We might be.
on
I
the
think-
Ukraine-
I think Luxembourg is going to qualify.
I also
Oh.
think
Yeah.
Actually, I did not have that in mind.
I think Luxembourg-
Objectively speaking, I think
Yeah.
there's a good shot Luxembourg will
I
qualify.
think specifically also because they have not been in Eurovision for so long that people are going to go out of their way to vote for Luxembourg just because they're coming back.
See, the thing is, they did the same thing with Montenegro, and they didn't even qualify. Like
True.
Yeah, that's true.
Montenegro,
Montenegro was also shafted in the running order.
that too. Yeah,
And
that's
Yeah,
Vladana
Luxembourg
should have
has, like,
qualified, but that's a conversation for another time.
on the Luxembourg, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a cusp qualifier.
I think that's where I have it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I will say this. I definitely think at this point, especially after seeing that staging, I don't see a way Ireland doesn't qualify at this point. That staging is incredible. It might be my favorite staging of the contest that we've seen. Again, we
It's
haven't
some
seen
of my
Big Six.
favorite.
It's
But like,
Really good.
I think it went from being a maybe to, I would say, likely would be what I would call it now.
I'm very happy to put Ireland as a qualifier.
Me too.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I
Me
also
too.
think Ireland's going to qualify.
Okay.
So just going back, I think based on what we've seen of rehearsal footage, I think it's not that Ukraine needed that staging, but I think that's going to be what they were absolutely going to qualify regardless. But I think that's definitely took them over the finish line.
Yes.
Croatia doesn't have much in the way of staging in that we haven't seen elsewhere. But I feel like the overall package, regardless of that, is
Yeah.
and then
Do we want to be negative for a second?
I
I
was
thi-
gonna.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because
Lewis, did you have any other thoughts you wanted to get out really quick? Because I didn't realize you were going to do a little bit more.
yeah,
situation.
I think people's concerns for Ireland were maybe based on Eurosong. I feel like Eurosong didn't do much to sell any of their national selection songs, so I'm glad that we're getting to see a full package on the Malmö stage.
No.
Melm.
No.
What am I trying to say? Yeah,
I don't know, but for me currently,
Mhm.
on the negative side of things, for me currently, I think there are only two countries that at this point I feel very confident in saying will not qualify.
I had two, and after seeing rehearsals, I now have three.
I have three.
I have three
Yeah.
now.
I
Because-
have two and a potential third. I have two that I'm very confident will not qualify.
Yeah. First off, I see zero way Iceland is making it through this at all.
I don't have Iceland as one of mine currently.
Oh, okay.
Iceland is one of
Okay.
mine personally.
Yeah.
I think-
I am okay putting Iceland as a non-qualifier. I think for me, the difficulty is I think it's and I said this when we did our preview. I find Iceland to be like a very generic song. I think Hera sings it very well. I think there is a mass market appeal to a song like Scared of Heights.
Yeah.
And I think there is a universe where she could squeak in 10th.
Yeah,
But
I could see that.
I am also happy to put her as a non-qualifier because for me it would be a non-qualifier here.
Mhm.
Um,
That requires all the Tequila Sunrise 40-year-old moms to vote for it, though.
and that is a demographic of Eurovision fans.
However,
True.
I do want to say that like there are two songs I think this year that call for like the soccer moms to like vote for it, and I think if those votes split, neither one of them is gonna
'Cause
qualify.
I know the other country that you're talking about because I remember you
Moldova.
making this. Oh, I thought you were talking about Australia.
No, Australia. Shockingly, I have Australia as my like barely qualifying
Okay.
thing.
See,
but I'm not
as
too
someone
sure.
who does really like Australia, like as a country and as a in the song this year too, rehearsals did not give me any confidence.
The staging,
and that worries me.
I'm worried. But
Mhm.
to streamline this, because we're just going to keep going back and forth about all of this the whole time.
Yeah.
And spoiler, we have across the channel 5 other videos to film today. So, I think we can all safely say Iceland is not qualifying.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know about safely.
Okay. I think we can all safely say Moldova is not qualifying.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Very
As much as I love to tell you,
unfortunately.
Babu.
I feel like. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say the other country that I don't think is qualifying, I had Moldova as my one. The other one I have is Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan is that.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. I
That
don't think they're
staging
qualifying
killed
either.
any potential shot that they had.
I
What?
agree.
It was
What's with
so
the
boring.
hand? It's
I
so
don't.
weird.
Anyway.
It's so weird, whatever.
Cool. So I think Moldova and Azerbaijan are the two that I think we all feel very safely right now will not.
I also kind of want to put it out there. What are our thoughts on Poland's? Because there hasn't been.
It's so
I'll
bad.
say this: it is the worst
so bad
staging
that I
of
love
the
it.
entire year. that I
It's
have
so
seen.
bad
This
that I
is the-
kind of love it. I'm in the
this
same
is
boat
the
as
thing.
Lewis.
It's kind of
song
like
is-
Finland, where the point it's like it's so bad that it's so camp that it could absolutely qualify just because it's so bad that
But-
people are just gonna want to vote for it because it's stupid.
But the thing is, at least with Finland, it's on like a novelty, like variety kind of song that's not supposed to be taken seriously. The tower, like the way it's. Like,
Oh,
written,
actually-
Oh,
you
it's
have-
fully
Can
trying to
we,
be.
can we side note for a hot moment? I would safely say Finland is qualifying.
I was
correct.
gonna say Finland.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
qualifying.
Yeah.
And I
Unfortunately.
had my critiques about Finland. I have since heard their live vocal. Henri has worked on it.
Yeah,
I'm happy to say I'm still not a huge Finland fan, but it has gone up in my ranking, Lewis.
I'll take
And
that.
I think Finland is safely qualifying.
yeah, absolutely.
No rules.
Yeah.
I think they were absolutely.
I think there's also, I think, because there's kind of some controversy going around, especially because of someone not wearing their pants
Yes.
stage.
Are we getting into this now?
No, we're not getting into this now because
Okay.
this is
I have a lot
semifinal
of
predictions.
commentary
This is
today.
not rehearsals.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're
I'm just
talking
saying
about that when we
that
talk
could
about
play a factor
rehearsals.
into it.
I agree. Yes.
I was gonna say, how do we feel about Serbia and Lithuania? Because we haven't talked about either of
Those
them
were the
yet.
2 countries I was about to bring up, and I'm going to say I feel like they are both going to qualify.
I agree.
I think I don't know. I'm back and forth.
I
with it.
think Lithuania I'm more confident in than Serbia.
I agree.
I am.
I'll
I'm
agree
gonna
with
say
that.
this: if
Okay.
Serbia does not qualify, I will
I'd be
have
shocked.
Very many questions.
I'd be shocked.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
then who would qualify over Serbia?
I mean, there is a world where I
Australia
could see,
or
like
Portugal.
Australia and Portugal
That's also
both
right.
qualifying and Serbia not.
That's where
Yeah.
I see. I also 100% agree with you, Brooke. I see Australia and Portugal potentially qualifying and Serbia not.
That's
Just
also right,
because
that's also-
Serbia is not in a great spot in the running order.
Yeah.
So voting does open at the start of the show. So it's one
Mm-hmm.
of those things where like you could look at it from the reverse situation too, of like potentially that's bad for the back half of the lineup as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we also
let-
we haven't talked about Slovenia yet either.
I was gonna bring that up as well.
The only countries we haven't currently discussed were Slovenia and Cyprus.
Cyprus
think-
is qualifying. I'm not worried about that.
I'm not
I
as
don't
confident
know.
anymore.
I'm not
I
sure.
don't know about that
Especially
anymore.
I
after the
don't
clips
know
that I've
does her
seen.
justice.
Her dancing is giving JoJo Siwa.
I
Honestly,
feel
kinda
honestly,
like the
I
It is
feel
still so.
I feel more confident about Cyprus qualifying than a lot of these other songs. I will personally say,
Mhm.
Yeah.
just because she's opening. I think the song is catchy, and I think people will remember the song, especially because there are not a whole lot of girly pop bangers in this semifinal.
Mhm.
And she sings
Actually,
it well too, so like,
she is the only one.
Yeah, I think that's going to give her an
I-
advantage, and I
Yeah.
also think that the song is just really good, and I think that's going to help.
I feel okay putting Cyprus as a qualifier.
Yeah.
I
So
kind of
right
agree.
now we have no to Moldova, no to Iceland,
Mhm.
and then
No, that's
No.
not what we have.
No to
What we
Moldova, no to
have-
Azerbaijan.
and Azerbaijan. Sorry.
And here we go. So we have Moldova and Azerbaijan currently not qualifying,
Mhm.
with our current qualifiers being Ukraine, Croatia, Ireland, Finland, Lithuania, and Cyprus, meaning that we need to decide on Serbia, Poland, Iceland, Slovenia, Australia, Portugal, and Luxembourg. I would say of those countries, I think the safest qualifier is Portugal.
I was gonna say as
I
well.
don't know.
I don't
was
agree with
thinking about
that.
I'm
Portugal as well.
not too sure. I
kinda
love
think-
Portugal, but I'm not too sure.
I'll be honest. I think out of those countries, the safest qualifier is Luxembourg. As much as it pains me to say that, I don't want it to
Yeah.
qualify. I think the song is bad. I think the artist, I have problems with her as well. But like logistically and seeing how people felt about it online, I am aware I'm in the minority on that. So I'm just gonna.
I think I'm personally okay having Luxembourg as a qualifier in this scenario because I do agree with you, Brooke. I don't
Mhm.
agree with it personally, but I think for the scenario that we're in,
Yeah.
The song has like a classic Eurovision feel to it that will have an appeal.
And it's also
Are we-
closing, and like that's a really good spot for it.
are we all as okay with that as we can be?
Yeah, I guess.
Yes.
Like I can see it.
I just don't see a world where it's in the bottom five. And that's to me like it doesn't. It's not going to get like first. It's not going to win the semi. But I could see it getting anywhere from like 4th to 8th. I just don't see a world where it's 11th or lower.
I'll put it 7th.
I would honestly put it 8th.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
Yeah.
Well,
So we've got 3 qualifiers and 3 non-qualifiers left. I think 7.
I mean, the easy out here is Iceland. Being honest.
Yeah.
I
As I
think
said,
I'm-
I think Moldova's and Iceland's kind of like kind of mixed. Like they're calling for the same votes, and if those votes split, I see a world in which neither one of them qualifies.
Yeah. I feel like the average kind of demographic of like voters is somewhere, or like the average range, I would say, is somewhere between the ages of like 20 to 40. And I feel like Scared of Heights kind of appeals to older than 40.
I think
Yeah.
the appeal in Iceland is more in Hera than it is the song itself.
And I think some
Yeah.
older Eurovision fans will recognize her name and be like, "Oh my god, je ne sais quoi." I sure didn't, even though it's a song I really like.
I mean, that's not to say the same can't be said for Natalia Babu because she's also.
But
I
I
don't know.
just don't. I also don't think Natalia's staging, unfortunately, is strong enough to.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Mhm. I agree.
Yeah.
I think we're at a point where we could put Iceland as a non-qualifier. I
Yes.
think for
I think
me,
so.
it'll probably be 11th or 12th.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
I-
me, it's like
Right.
11.
It's another one of those things where I don't think it's going to get like dead last, but I definitely don't see a world where it gets above 10th. Unless and only if the 40-year-old moms really show out for it.
So this is where things get interesting because now we kind of have 5 songs that are very similar.
And
In-
Poland.
No, I mean, okay, sure. You just don't like Poland.
I do not. That is very been made very apparent on the show.
I would like to suggest having Australia qualify. I just think the vibe of the song, I love the song, obviously, but I'm thinking objectively speaking, it is in a very great spot in the running order.
Mhm.
It is.
I think it's going to appeal to a lot of people. And I honestly think queer voters are going to vote en masse for a song like Australia. I think
I can see
soccer
that.
moms are going to vote en masse for a song like Australia.
Also, yeah.
Yeah.
See, the thing that worries me about Australia, and this is just me, as someone who does really like the song, it has been consistently dropping in my order. Because about 3 weeks ago, I would have had it at like 10th or 11th, and now it's not even in my top 15. for the year, and I'm worried that maybe that's just me, but like the closer we get to the contest, and we're less than a week out now. At recording, it's less than a week. Like after a week from today, it's going to be the semifinals. One's going to be over. I just don't know if I feel confident with it qualifying as of now, especially when we have things like
to make decisions on
I-
these things.
Well,
I
we still have
feel more
Serbia. We
confident.
still have Serbia on the board, and like
I feel more
out of the
confident
five
in
left.
Serbia qualifying than I am with like Australia.
I'm okay with having Serbia
Yeah,
qualify.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Lou? Okay.
Okay.
Non-qualifier. I would honestly say Poland. I don't think Poland is going to
I
qualify.
think
I
the
hope I'm right.
staging really murders
I
it.
disagree.
Really?
I disagree. I think there's an appeal in Poland, especially given the elaborate staging.
Yeah, as I said, I
See-
think it's kind of similar to Finland, where it's just so campy that people might just vote for it because it's stupid.
I mean, I feel like if Poland does qualify, it is going to be like 10th or 9th, though. It's not.
We've
gonna
also
be
said
like...
that about 4 different countries here. So
Exactly, because like 2 of them are not going to qualify, and 2
How
of them
do-
are qualify
okay.
10th to 9th.
We should have definitely figured out a format.
I wish
This is
we
the
had.
format. This is the format.
Yeah, we're just talking.
How do we feel about Slovenia?
I
personally
feel more
yeah,
confident about
qualifying?
Slovenia qualifying than Australia qualifying.
I agree.
I agree.
Although I'm not confident about either of them.
Yeah, I'm not confident in either one of them, but like
I
with the
personally
songs that we have left, I
Out
think
of
this is
the
one of the
4
more
that we
likely.
have left, because it's Poland, Slovenia, Australia, Portugal. I think Portugal is the most likely. To qualify out of
I'm
these
more
4.
confident with Slovenia.
I think
than
Slovenia
Serbia,
is
so-
more likely than Portugal.
I think Portugal is more likely because I think honestly Portugal has the most dynamic staging,
Yeah,
and I think
I'm
these
down
4.
for Portugal.
I think of these
qualifying.
4 artists that we are talking about currently, Yolanda has the best live vocal.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'll also say,
Yeah.
out of everyone I've shown to, I've not had any like extremely bad reaction to Portugal at all, right? Because
Yeah.
I've had people that hated Electric Fields, I've had people that did not like Veronica, and I've had people that didn't like Tower, but I've not had anybody that's like, ugh.
Okay,
Portugal.
so
You know what I mean?
Do we
Portugal,
all
can we
think
put Portugal qualifying?
I think so.
Sure.
I'm really happy with Portugal qualifying. So
I agree.
I
think it's
honestly, at this point, I think we could do. I think
Like-
Portugal, Slovenia, or Portugal, Poland.
I think
As much
Portugal
as it
and
pains,
Slovenia.
as much as it pains me, I am okay putting Australia as a non-qualifier. I don't personally think that, but I think given everything that we've talked about here, I guess I'm okay with it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think Australia is like out of it. I just don't think it's as likely as I would have thought like a week ago.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's gonna get last. It's gonna get like 11th, I think, and I think
think-
it's just gonna miss out.
I think we have it's tough. I would say Portugal for sure, and then any combination of Slovenia or Poland, I guess.
I feel more confident.
So
in
are
Slovenia
we-
qualifying?
Are we okay with Portugal,
Yes,
Yes.
I think.
I personally am.
Yeah.
Lewis?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as confident as the rest of you, but also, sure.
But also, if I had it my way, Australia would be qualifying. You know what I mean? Like
Fully.
it's yeah.
Yeah,
But
if I
if we
had my
all had it our
way,
way, Luxembourg wouldn't be qualifying at all.
You're
Yeah.
not.
So
As I said, Luxembourg is a cusp, so that even if they didn't qualify, I won't be like, oh, okay.
Look,
We
let's be
could
clear.
say
If
Luxembourg is a non-qualifier.
I will
We
say,
could
if
do
Luxembourg
that.
does-
every time they
qualify?
performed in the pre-parties, it was dead silent. So it's very
Honestly,
possible.
Like I
It's
personally,
very possible.
I don't think they're qualifying personally.
I'm happy to move them to non-qualifier.
Like,
I'm
I'm-
personally fine with that.
I'm more
move
confident
Luxembourg
in
down
Australia
to
than
the-
Luxembourg qualifying.
I think we move Luxembourg to non-qualifier, and we do Slovenia, Australia, Portugal.
Yeah,
I'm down for that.
I agree with that as
With
well.
with then Poland not qualifying.
Of
Yes.
course.
I mean, look at the staging. Be
Look at
fucking
the
for real.
staging.
I'm
She's fine
also
on
trying
the
to
whole-
acknowledge that there are positive feelings towards Poland here.
There are.
Lewis, And hi, I am not a negative towards Poland. I will go ahead and say that myself.
It's not that I'm a positive. It's not that I'm a positive. It's that I'm not. It's that I'm not a negative. It's that like I wouldn't be surprised if there's appeal in the fucking outrageous stage in this.
Are we okay with Poland not qualifying then?
I'm okay with it personally.
See, the thing that I'm worried about though is the idea that we talked about it ages ago when we did our semifinal prediction, with Slovenia maybe not getting as many votes as it would have because Ireland's in the same semifinal, would be the only thing that gives me even a remote pause. But I think Poland is less likely to qualify than Slovenia.
I think Poland's qualifying, but that doesn't reflect my opinion of the song. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so we do need to come to a decision.
I think majority
Lewis,
of
if you think
us-
Poland is qualifying, what do
Yes.
you think would not qualify instead of Poland? Because something
So,
has to swap with it.
What's on the table?
At this point,
Australia or
Portugal,
Slovenia?
yeah, Australia, Slovenia.
I could honestly see a universe where we do
Ooh.
Poland and Australia qualify and Slovenia doesn't.
Yeah, I feel like
I could see
in
that
that
too.
scenario, Slovenia could very well be like 11th.
I think there's a lot more mass appeal in Slovenia than Australia.
Then what do you think isn't going to qualify, Lou?
Lewis, you need to give us something.
Australia.
Okay.
I said Australia.
I mean, I guess it's majority rules at this point. How do
Yeah,
we?
I think that's what I was gonna say. I think majority. Of
Right,
us
I think
think
we should
Poland
at this
will
point we
qualify.
should just write shit down and then whatever like so the most I don't know.
I mean, I think we have. Okay, so we've come to a consensus on 9 of them then. Right?
Have we?
Yeah, it feels like.
What
I
other
think
one
we
do we
have
have
8.
qualifying?
I
We have
think
8.
We have 8.
Okay, so we're starting. Which okay.
Okay.
Because if
But
Poland
if
qualifies,
Lewis says
then it's
Australia is
probably
not going to
Australia.
qualify instead of Poland, we all think Slovenia is going to qualify then, right?
I don't.
I don't. Now that I think of it,
I personally think they're safer than Serbia, which
Oh.
Serbia is qualifying. I don't know what to say about that.
I think they're both qualifying, but I think there's more appeal in Slovenia.
I mean, again, this is where it gets tricky. I feel like at this point it's just we all just say this is the one I think is not qualifying, and then that's the prediction.
I think we have to vote.
Do we need to come to a consensus? Is this
I
what
think we
this
have to
No,
vote.
honestly, I don't
Whichever
think we
gets
need
the most
to.
votes.
But
is
it's
that
more
what
fun
this
if we
video
do.
is? Just coming to a consensus and then like,
Honestly, it's very on brand for us to not come to a consensus. So honestly, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
it's very
so-
on brand.
So as
So
a
we
quick
all-
recap,
Yes, so our for sure qualifiers amongst the 5 of us are Ukraine, Croatia, Ireland, Finland, Lithuania, Cyprus, Portugal, and Serbia. Our for sure non-qualifiers, in our opinion, are Moldova, Azerbaijan, Iceland, and Luxembourg, with Australia, Slovenia, and Poland as our cusp countries. And if you ask any of the 5 of us, we will have a different answer.
yes.
So, I didn't
job,
realize that was going to take 30 minutes.
we did it.
Woohoo!
72 should be easier.
25.
72 should be
We had
easier.
6 minutes of
We're gonna
intros.
skip the intro.
True. I didn't realize this would take 25 minutes. Okay. Semi-final 2.
Okay, this is where it gets hard.
I'm
let's-
going to get
let's
it.
out of the way.
I'm getting it out of the way right now. I think
Uh-huh.
Israel's qualifying, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Sadly,
I hate it, but you're right.
I hate it as well. Trust
Even
me,
though
I
those
don't want to say
stupid
that.
fucking
So-
dancers.
Okay,
I mean,
What the fuck are you doing?
let's get the easy ones out of the way too.
Yeah.
Let's not talk over each other, please. Aneesa, what do you have to say, my darling?
Because I have not said much throughout this podcast.
And that's why I'm trying to give you the space.
Thank you. I feel like the safe qualifiers definitely are Netherlands and Switzerland.
I have 3 safe
Yeah.
qualifiers.
I have
I would
one
add
other.
Greece
I
to
have one other safe qualifier in addition to Netherlands.
Oh,
and
wait!
Switzerland.
Sorry, Greece. I could see Greece,
Greece,
as well.
Greece was
Oh,
my
I have,
Yeah.
I have
Yeah, as
4
well.
safe qualifiers. I have one other safe qualifier on top of those 3. Norway.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would agree with
I
that.
pray.
I am.
I would non-qualifier.
Czechia, Albania, Latvia.
Czechia, as much as I hate saying it, Albania.
I am not as certain on
I'm not as
Latvia.
confident as Czechia.
I'm not
Oh.
confident with Czech.
I think
Wait.
Czechia has like as a collection, like as a package, it's grown exponentially.
Okay.
And especially with what they're doing on stage in Malmö, I think
I'm willing to reconsider them later on down the line. Are we all okay saying Albania is not a qualifier?
Bye.
absolutely.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's how we
Yeah, that
You're
outfit,
Italian.
I'm so
I
sorry.
I personally have 2 other safe qualifiers.
Okay,
I would say Armenia and Belgium.
I would agree.
I'm not as confident as I
agree
was
with
with
Armenia.
Belgium.
I agree with Armenia. Belgium, maybe not so much, but I think it should be a safe qualifier.
I think it's more likely than a few others, so I think
I
it's a
agree.
very
I mean,
possible.
I don't know. A lot of people have been saying a lot of stuff about Belgium on the timeline.
That part. Okay, but do we all agree on
Totally.
Armenia? Because Armenia.
Are we good on Armenia?
Armenia,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Can
I
I
mean,
guess another safe?
How do we feel
Yes.
about San Marino? 'Cause
Sadly, I don't think it's qualifying. I love this. song,
I'm not
I don't think
as
it's
sure.
qualifying.
I think it could. Lewis, what do you think?
Can I suggest Estonia?
I think they're
Estonia's probably
Yeah.
qualifying.
The staging though, the staging was kind of boring.
Okay, we can reconsider it. Can I suggest Georgia?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think
10,000%.
Georgia's
Top 3
qualifying.
staging of the year.
Lewis?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I think
Right.
she's flying through.
Like a firefighter.
Put out the fire. Okay, I'm gonna run down the list now, and we can kind of talk about them briefly, and then see where we think they might land.
Okay.
Malta.
Yes, 1,000% yes.
With the
I
staging,
think they
I am
should.
more confident than I was before.
I'm more confident in it than I am.
Yeah,
I'm happy to have Malta as a
I
qualifier
am
here.
so
Not
happy
even
to
a
have
lie.
Yeah,
Miss Sarah
I think
Bennett
they should.
qualify.
As the certified loop stand here, okay? As the person
Where?
in my top 3. I'm just gonna
Where?
say here in West Virginia.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
I'm
say.
just saying you're not the only one.
I know we all like it, but I feel like I like it a lot more than some people here.
Okay, darling. Sure.
Everywhere I see people talking about it, it's this song is so underrated, yada yada yada. I don't see anybody's like, this isn't qualifying, other than maybe having it in like 11. So to me, that's a good sign.
Can we put Malta?
Yes,
I'm down, yeah.
How many
Okay,
do we have now?
I would also like to acknowledge we only have 2 more qualifying spots.
Yeah.
I
And we
would
have
like to
7.
bring some
There's a
percentage.
qualifier.
Okay. Eduardo.
I think Austria has a high chance of qualifying.
I don't.
I don't.
Because of the timeline on my Twitter, there are so many people that love Austria. In my rankings,
My
it doesn't
timeline's opposite.
qualify.
Mine is opposite.
Mine is exactly like Lewis and Logan's.
Mine says
like-
that a lot of people like it. I think it's a possibility.
So
I think we cannot just like toss it out and say it's not qualifying.
Unfortunately, I would like this seriously pains me. I think out of everything that is left, I think 2 countries that don't really stand a shot are Czechia and Latvia.
I agree.
have to agree.
I
agree.
just as much as I think both songs are very good, I don't see it personally. I understand that the staging has gotten better for Czechia, and I do acknowledge that, Lewis, because I know you brought that up. It was you that brought that up, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel a little bit more confident in saying that I don't personally think it will. And we do need to start filling up our non-qualifier sections.
So we have what songs are left that we
hold
have
on.
not?
Give me a second, Brooke. Are we okay with Czechia and Latvia not qualifying
Yeah.
Yes.
as a group?
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
We can always do like we did with Luxembourg and move someone, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying I think we need to put it somewhere for now.
Okay.
So what we are left with right now, we have Austria, we have Denmark, we have San Marino. Who else am I missing?
Estonia,
Estonia
Belgium.
and Belgium.
So we have 2 more slots and 3 non-qualifier slots left. Yes.
The sound of it.
I-
The sound of it all.
I could tell you the 2 that I think will qualify.
I could too, personally.
I think it's Belgium and Denmark.
That is exactly where my head is at too. Belgium,
Yeah.
Denmark.
Ooh. I see. The thing is, I'm more confident in Estonia than Belgium.
Yeah.
It
Surprisingly,
was until I saw that
Whoa,
staging.
okay.
That staging was real bad.
like
I think does the staging knock the song that because a lot of that song is the song itself rather than what's going on stage.
yeah.
I mean, I will tell you what I have seen on my TikTok and on my Twitter is after the staging, people have been moving it down several spots.
But what I also want us to keep in mind is that the Eurovision Twitter fandom and the TikTok fandom represents a small section
Correct.
Yeah.
of the overall people that are voting.
So, do we want to just
Hold on, Brooke. Hold on, Lewis. What do you have to say?
I think what's happening, what we're seeing on the TikTok is not representative of what we're going to be seeing on the screen next week when it actually goes live or whatever. So the presentation might differ from what's happening on stage. That's what I'm saying. People loved it in London, and in London they had nothing to play with. I don't know. I think there's a mass appeal in that song that it doesn't matter if you've got huge staging, whatever the fuck.
As much as I love her, Laureen's staging wasn't massive either.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I mean, yeah, but also the Loreen of it.
Yeah, true. Very, very true. So of the countries here, the 2 that we don't have currently in this discussion are San Marino and Austria. I would like to bring them into the conversation. Brooke, I
Yes.
apologize if I snapped at you. I didn't mean to.
No,
I'm
you're
just
good.
Trying to make sure that everybody gets heard.
Yeah, I'm talking too much.
No, you're not. I'm hosting is hard, okay? Hosting is difficult because I also want to get my opinion across too. Unfortunately, I think of those 5, I think the one that I personally feel safest putting as a non-qualifier, unfortunately, is the most serene state of San Marino.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Very
I have to
unfortunate.
agree.
Oh, I thought I was going to be the only one that said that.
No, I love that song. I really, really have grown to love 1111. And I think the staging, I think there's a shot. I think there's a shot now, but I think right now in this simulation, I don't see it qualifying.
Yeah.
I
So.
agree.
Okay.
Exactly.
I mean, in the same semi as Overham,
Yeah.
which is probably the closest.
And
competitor to it.
only a couple of spots in the running order before Ulvaham. It's just
Yeah.
okay. So we are then left with Belgium, Estonia, Denmark, Austria.
Jesus.
I mean, okay, to me, out of the 4, and maybe this is just my hot take of the day, I think the safest qualifier out of this 4 is Denmark. I don't care.
I think I would agree. Honestly,
especially
I think I would.
like I know I keep on bringing up the staging, but it looked so cool, and I loved it.
Yeah, I've
and
seen a lot of
Sand,
people.
like I have been like had Sand on repeat the last week, just devouring Saba's vocals. Like, there's not a ton of songs there's not really anything that really sounds like it in the semi, and I think that does help.
I think honestly, Sand has the most overall demographic appeal.
Yeah.
And so that's why personally I would say it qualifies. I understand why people say it won't, because it is a bit more simplistic and it doesn't have a great spot in the running order. So I do fully acknowledge that. We could also just say these 4 are cusp and ask each one of us what we think. Like, that is also an option we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think for me personally, I would say Belgium and Denmark. But on any given day, it could be a different combination of those 4 countries. You know what I mean? Like, so.
I mean, I will say, looking at the betting odds right now, they are all 7th through 11th on the betting odds, with Georgia slotted in there as well. So like, it seems like everybody's kind of on the same page that we are.
Yeah. Are we okay with that consensus, or do we want to put more on either side?
I think I'm good with it.
I think I'm okay with it.
I am
I'm
okay
good
with it.
We all got differing opinions on all 4 of them, so I think that's
Yeah.
like personally, I think that Denmark Estonia is gonna break out of that, but we all have different opinions on it for all very different and credible reasons.
Yeah, very valid reasoning. I think this is the semifinal where I think there is just a lot more flexibility.
Yeah.
Personally, I would take Israel out of the equation and put Belgium, Estonia, and Denmark in there. That's just me
cool.
personally.
You
so.
know what? We can do.
You
it
know
for wishful
what?
thinking. Let's just do it for wishful thinking.
Let's manifest it.
Let's just do
Let's
it.
manifest
How do
it.
we feel about that?
Let's manifest it.
Right,
If
but
we
like,
put it out into the
who are we
world-
putting in instead of
Instead of Israel?
No,
Estonia?
we take Israel. We move it. To
We take Israel
non-qualifier,
out, we put Belgium, Estonia, and Denmark in.
and then Austria doesn't
Oh.
qualify. Everyone wins.
yeah, that's just break the system.
I'm actually really happy
I
with
love
that.
that.
I'm
I
actually
love that.
so thrilled with that, so we're going to do that.
We're doing
Yeah.
that.
Let's
As a friendly
manifest it.
reminder, free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Her. So hey, look at us. That was
We did
easy.
it. Yay.
They better be out next year. Martin Ostador better be out next year.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You know,
And that's
we could be
that.
living in
So-
we could be living in a world where we're talking about Crick right now. Of
Right.
Mm.
So, according to us, because we actually came to a decision on semifinal 2, not semifinal 1, unless we want to right now, and like I honestly, the more I think about it, the more I'm kind of okay saying Australia is not going to qualify, even though I personally think it will.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think it is a very solid 11th or 10th place. I do not know which one, but
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way.
Is that okay with the group?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. I'm very upset about that, but like,
wait. I can't. What was this? I zoned out.
Yeah, I noticed. Australia not qualifying.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Okay, so we did actually come to decisions, which is very unlike us. I'm very
Shocking.
proud of us as a group. So our semifinal 1 non-qualifiers. I'll just go with that to wrap up the video. Our semifinal 1 non-qualifiers are Moldova, Azerbaijan, Iceland, Luxembourg, and unfortunately Australia. And our semifinal 2 non-qualifiers are Albania, Czechia, Latvia, the most serene state of San Marino, Austria, and the country we will no longer discuss on this podcast.
Where
So-
Diva.
Woohoo!
With that being said, thank you so much for joining us. Let us know your predictions down in the comments below. Make sure to check out all of our other channels, our social media channels, our personal social media channels, our merch link, and all of the links down in the description below to get all of your stuff, merch, subscriptions, all that lovely, beautiful, and fabulous stuff. With that being said, we're going to get out of here. So, cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.
Ba, 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 ra, ba, 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 ra, ba, ra.